go down this way, I assume.
Very
Yes.
kind of you.
Oh.
Thanks. Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucian. Professor Edgar Lucian.
Oh, a professor. Are you a scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
There was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the last 2,000 years concerns me.
Alright, yeah, this one, why not?
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No. Why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just, I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable.
Alright, cool.
What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
Ah, we'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
Not
All right,
suspicious at
just
all.
wait here.
Alright, let's save the game here. Alright, let's look at the lock.
You can easily lock the compartment door from inside by turning a little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
Professor, if you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
That's true.
Perhaps a thoughtful conductor noticed that Professor Lucien wasn't in his compartment and locked it.
Okay. I'm gonna go try to find a steward. Cause kinda need that. Or at least I assume we do. Lucian seems pretty
I don't believe it.
insistent on getting inside.
I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable...
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure. May I ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
Ooh.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine.
Okay.
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there, we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to Egypt by ship as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see. As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
Did you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course. Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
Did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot. Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best. Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. Very diligent. But she does seem a little nervous and tense. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And a difficult boss, from what they say. Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
The little boy, Matt, he's your son?
Oh, yes. Has he done something?
No. I've already met him. Clever little fellow.
We always call him Professor because he's so precocious. If only someone could just drive the mischief out of him.
Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
So, nothing out of the ordinary.
No, Constable.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
Let's see, resume. Let's see. Aha, yes. I have a notebook. I thought I would have, but you know. Let's see, Return of the Raven. And this is the private notebook of Constable Anton Jakob von Zellner. Should you find this book, please send it directly to Zurich Police Headquarters. 23rd September 1963. A rather valuable ruby was stolen from British Museum in London, one of the two legendary Eyes of the Sphinx. The press is in a tizzy, as one might expect. They blame the new Raven for besmirching the reputation of the old Raven Pierre. Pear? Something like that. As the latter never harmed a soul during his exploits. Yeah, probably not great. 24th September 1963. I did it! I stood up and told the captain right to his face that I want the assignment. He was too shocked to say no. Inspector Nicholas Legrand, here with us in Switzerland. An opportunity I simply cannot pass up. But just what does he want here? London Post, 11 September 1963. Legrand hunt Raven's heir. According to information obtained by this newspaper, Nicolas Legrand, 33, a French citizen and an Interpol special investigator, has taken over the case of the Raven's heir. Legrand is renowned among colleagues and police forces across Europe as an incisive investigator and a relentless bloodhound. He first demonstrated his talents 5 years ago when the young policeman surprised the world by catching the Raven, the most wanted criminal in all of Europe. A shootout erupted while he attempted to apprehend the wily thief, resulting in the death of the burglar. The Raven, it must be said, was greatly esteemed by the public for its clever, daring robberies. A copycat criminal has plagued us for several months now, though the imitator leaves raven feathers at the scenes of his crimes. His thefts exhibit none of the original Raven's refinement and gamesmanship. The last 3 robberies have resulted in a total of 5 casualties, one of them severely injured, though, by the grace of God, no deaths. Scotland Yard, Interpol, and Inspector Legrand could not be reached for comment. And there's a little, thing. Legrand, Yakden, Erben des Raven. Alrighty. I'm not good enough at ballparking German to try to ballpark that article. 6. Inspector Nicholas Legrand. Okay. Legrand looks different in person, older, more worn. He's still a successful detective, but there are rumors that his methods in recent years have become, shall we say, reckless. Legrand's trap. Legrand seems to be laying a trap for the new Raven. I should try to find out more about his plans. The violinist. There's a man with a violin case sitting in the passenger car. He claims to be a soloist. Seems to be rather worse for the wear. His hand shakes. On his way to Venice, he says, then on to Cairo by ship to give a concert at the Egyptian Museum. Lady Westmacott considers Kreutzer to be the sort of man who leeches off of others. Professor Edgar Lucien. I made the acquaintance of Professor Lucien from London's British Museum. He claims that the robbery at the museum hardly affected him. I don't believe him. He seems rather nervous. Who is the Raven? Oh, hold on. I skipped some things. I'm sorry. There we go. Mary Miller and Matt Miller. I just adore her. To me, she's the greatest author. Oh, Lady Carissa Westmacott. I was about to say, wait, what? Lock compartment. Door to Professor Lucien's compartment is locked from the outside or from the inside. Who locked it? Lady Clarissa Westmacott. These sketches are darling. I love them. I just adored her. To me, she's the greatest author of the century, and certainly the most successful. Such a shame that she stopped writing. Haven't read anything about it in the press yet. Fans around the world will be in an uproar when they find out. Clarissa Westmacott's most successful mysteries: Little Indians, Death on the Rails, Murder in Egypt. All of these sound very not great. Under a Full Moon. At least, you know, in the current situation. Styles, Affair of Mystery, The Vicarage in the Mirror, Maurice Partot's Easter. Little Indians sold more than 100 million copies, making it the most successful mystery novel of all time. Damn! Mary Miller and Matt Miller. Let's see. Miss Miller was introduced to me as Lady Westmacott's companion. I think she's really more of a carer. She seems rather tense, nervous, and a bit unbalanced. Maybe it has something to do with her son Matt. I like Matt. He's a lively, inquisitive boy, but it seems like his mother's got her hands full dealing with him. Alrighty, let's go to the next category. Who's the Raven? Look for clues and unveil the identity of the Raven. Open the professor's door. The door to Professor Lucian's compartment is locked. From the inside, it seems I have to find a way to open the lock. Okay.
The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally, he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
Let's take one. Why not? I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Butterscotch. I've loved them since I was a child.
Butterscotch is
The only
pretty
drawback, they don't play nice with false teeth.
True. I'm gonna take some.
Maybe if I just suck it. I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence.
Shouldn't at least. Okay, there's a lot. Let's look at the radio.
Shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years. Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there.
Locked.
Locked. Where could he be? The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I couldn't believe it. The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today. I don't need the pad, but the pencil might come in handy.
I'm going to try something. It won't let me look at the pad. Damn.
Who would have thought that one day butterscotch would remind me of my age and of all the things I had to leave behind?
That's depressing.
Pills. For my heart.
Oh.
I'm supposed to take one if I have trouble. My daughter insisted that I take them with me. She was strongly against this little adventure, but I wasn't about to change my mind.
That's good to know. Yeah.
I'll leave the scissors here. If I need them, I know where to find them.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the radio on, because why not? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah, no. And I don't really have... I have a toothpick. Achievement unlocked, music lover. You know what, let's try that, and...
The drawer is... This is this, but as long as he's not... The wooden toothpicks are nothing on... The drawer is...
Oh, well, I tried. Alright, let's see. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna leave that going, because why not?